All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Rawchaa Qadash. We like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. We like to say shalom to the elect that teach the word in all true faith and sincerity. And today I got the brother Dawada, I'm the brother Barak, and we're the Akim from the Great Millstone Church here in Birmingham. And today just like the tightest lesson, the chambers of death, which ultimately that's going to be the fate of a lot of these people, man. You know, 2/3 of our people, as well as everyone outside of this circle, man. Especially if you here in the land of America, the fate is destruction and death, but it's the process to that what's going to lead you to it is following after this man's ways.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, if anything, start out with the book of Micah, the 2nd chapter.
Okay.
Because ultimately, that mindset is going to actually lead to your fate. Having a destructive mindset, you got black culture, this nigga culture, drill music and all these things is a thought that actually is going to actually lead to death.
That's it.
But you got to do it.
This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest."
So arise ye and depart, which this is a commandment from Yahawashi, and we have rose and stood upon our feet by the way of this word, that breath. We have became animated, and the next step is to depart, which is rejecting the so-called white man, his advances and his ways, his philosophies. You have what's that? Is it the OJs? Your body here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. This is that road to recovery. Us once again being made alive, and the next step is to depart, because this is not our risk. We should not make our bed here in America, man. You got it out.
It says, "Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction."
See, yeah, so it's polluted from the physical sense, of course. From chemtrails and the water and shit, the food and everything. All these things are polluted, but it actually will destroy your mind. It will pollute your mind. From the different things that this man presents as good for you, and these different things seem as presented as a benefit, but ultimately it's going to lead to your destruction. It like I said, it begins in the mind. A nigga died at the gas station. It started with a thought from him arguing on Facebook, or he heard a lyric from Jeezy, and that would led him on this course to destruction, man. You got it, bro. Yeah, you got it.
Those certain ways, they hoop dreams or gridiron, thinking they're gonna be the next who is it? What's that boy name? Fought them dogs.
Yeah.
Vic.
Is it Vic?
Yeah, you think you're gonna be the next Michael Vick, but all those things are being provided to you by Esau, and all those things are gonna, as we just read, you making your rest here. This place is polluted. It's gonna surely destroy you. I got a quick precept.
You got it up.
Second Thessalonians, just going back to that mindset. How they wholeheartedly buy into the ways of Esau. This is Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. It says, And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And the wicked is being revealed right now. He's being consumed by the spirit of Yahawashi, all right, through the prophets. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And this is the point. And for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusion. So they have a strong delusion, believing that is the way out. Get a degree, a 5-year, 10-year plan. All right. But all those paths really just lead to death. It says that they should believe a lie. And it started with what them not receiving the love of the truth.
And if I may, show you what was the tool the Lord used to contribute to that. Him that's coming after this working of Satan, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know that the God of this world have blinded them.
Yep.
Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahawashi should shine unto them, man. Mm-hmm. So the reason why a nigga can't get it and won't get it is because of the things that Esau had presented unto them.
That's it.
So that strong delusion, what contributed to it is what Esau have given them. That whore with the flattering lips. Have pretty much those enchantments have wooed Jake, and now they have been led to a path of destruction. But you got it, Wop.
It says that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And ultimately, if you don't go the ways of Yahawashi, you have pleasure in unrighteousness. You may say that somebody is a good person, but according to the scriptures, if you can't grasp and understand this truth, you're wicked, man. And those ways are going to lead to your destruction.
That's it.
You got anything else?
Yeah, matter of fact, get that what is that St. Matthew the 7th chapter? I think it's like the 13th verse. Because it said they have pleasure in unrighteousness, which is ultimately goes back to Esau. They trust in perverseness and oppression. They feel more safe in captivity under the oppression of the so-called white man and what he presents, and his way. Which ultimately the end results is always death. Even from a religious standpoint, in this modern Christianity, before you get to the kingdom of heaven, you gotta die. So that's what ultimately this man presents is death. He's not just known as death for nothing. That's on all levels, from this man being a destructive force from his sword all the way down to his philosophies and ideologies. This man is death, man.
That's right.
That's it.
This is Matthew chapter 7 and verse 13. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
So yeah, it's many ways to die.
Beautiful.
It's plethora of ways to be led to destruction. Like I said, nigga was listening to Jeezy earlier, and he made a rant on Facebook, and now he dead at the gas station. That's one of the broad ways that has been presented unto our people. But ultimately, the fate is death, man. But it said that way. So it always begins with a thought, man. And that's what's gonna actually lead you. That's what's gonna to your destination, pretty much. That's why I say it leadeth to destruction. And many there be that go in direct, because that shows you how precious this truth is and life is, man. That is not just open to any and everyone. But death is accessible for everybody, man. Even the scripture says, one step between me and death.
Yep.
So death is accessible, especially in this time. We in the height of death. So they show how precious life is. But as you can see, that way, that it's a broad way to destruction, especially in this lifetime where you got the LGBTQ and you got, like I said, nigger culture and all these mukbangs from your arteries clogging up. Is all this, but it begins with a thought first, which stems from the so-called white man, his ideologies, philosophies, here in America, man. But you got it all out.
It says, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way that leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
So as you can see, is a narrow path that's going to actually lead to life, man. Which is this truth? It starts with their thought, that those immortal thoughts. When you read Second Ezra's, the second chapter, they'll put out the mortal clothing, put on the immortal, but it begins with a thought. Before anything, that's what leads you to your destination.
I got something real quick.
Yeah, you got it out.
This is Romans chapter 12 and verse 2, just going on, that it begins with that thought, It says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And it's saying not conform to this world, the ways of Esau, everything that he presents to you, right? Not to go that way, but your mind needs to be transformed. You got to be born again. It says that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. And ultimately, the perfect will of Yahawashi is to destroy America, Babylon the Great. Right?
Hey, that's heavy. That's heavy because let's say that being conformed, you got it. Is like I said, by the renewing of your mind, you gotta come from under those thought patterns of this devil, man. Nigga getting prepared for the 4th of July. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because they have been conformed to this world. They have the same mindset of an American. But the Lord have plucked us up from that thought process. That's why I said that ye may prove what is that good, because the scriptures is the standard. We seeing what is good and acceptable and perfect in the will of Yahawashi, which is to destroy America, man. So why would we be settled here, knowing the intents of Yahawashi is to overthrow this place in a violent manner, man? And we seeing that these people are actually being we seeing how they move and how they act, and their fruit shows that they are bound to the destruction, man. Just how these motherfuckers act, man.
If I may, you were talking about the 4th of July and all those certain holidays. We just had what is Halloween, and Jake was the main one upholding that shit, celebrating it, But
nigga got a new outfit. Yes, nigga got a new Halloween costume from a series 10 years back. Now you remember the old series. Now you going back watching this shit because the nigga came out with the costume, man. They are fully engulfed in America, man. But you got to go, bro.
No, you good out. That's a beautiful point. They're dwelling. Elder brother go in on that. They hang their hat here. They feel like this is their rest. But scriptures plainly tell us to come out of the ways of Babylon the Great. Or you're gonna end up being destroyed with it.
Matter of fact, get that what's that, Sirach 10 in I think it's verse 2 or something like that. Because those they have they pretty much put on the same covering of this man.
Is it Sirach or Ecclesiastes chapter 10 And verse 2, it says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
See, so as we can see, the manner of man that's ruling the city is a violent, homosexual man. Just to sum it up, this is a sick guy.
Okay.
And this has trickled down all the way to the people that dwell therein. Those, like I said, they have hung their hat here. They have made their bed here in America. They have pretty much put on the same covering of this man. They pretty much doing the same as I mentioned earlier, nigger culture. That's Edomite history, concerning when you hear about drill music, killing niggas and shit. That's the history of Esau. You got these niggas being homos and effeminate. That's Esau. You going to the Greeks, the Romans. It's all the same thing. These devils, but these niggas have taken on that same customs. They are the same ones that dwelling in it. You got it out.
Yeah, con. So like I got a quick precept for you.
You got it, bro.
This is Isaiah, because you mentioned that covering, Isaiah chapter 30.
That's it.
And verse 1, it says, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me.
And that's what they do. They go to the so-called white man for counsel or for a form of refuge, for answers. They don't go to Yahawashi by the way of his men, his prophets. They go to a theologian or some crazy shit. It's something of Esau to find some form of relief and answers. You got it out.
It says, but not of me, and cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
So they put on the covering of Egypt, man. They have put on the covering of an American, which goes back to Esau, the so-called white man. This is what they have, those cousins they have put on upon themselves. To the point where a nigga might concerning worldly affairs, and you mention America, and nigga say, yeah, well, we'll do this and we'll do that. Like he incorporating himself in it. Like he a part of the, But it said that they may add sin and sin. So this is over the many generations where 2/3 of our people have been gathering. It tells they've been laden with iniquity. Because our history is pretty much being riddled with captivity. But you're gonna have every time Jake is gonna just concede, they're gonna go ahead and fall and submit themselves into the customs of the Greeks. They have submitted themselves into the customs of the Romans. All the way up to this day, they have pretty much submitted themselves and put on the covering of an American.
If I may,
you got it.
Scripture has says that lost my thought just that quick regarding Israel. They've always they always sought the ways of the heathen. When Samuel, was mad at Israel because they wanted a king, the Lord told him, don't be mad that they rejected you. They really rejected me. And give them what they want. The Lord just giving them over to that delusion.
Yeah, that's heavy because, like you said, as you mentioned it, the Lord said He gonna give to him, and Saul, He said you're gonna have a tyrant as your king. Saul was, pretty much he ended up becoming a tyrant. A straight up nigga, which that's what they asked. They asked for Caesar. They asked for Barabbas, and that's what the Lord giving them, man. That murderous nigga, man. You got it, Slack. You got it.
No, that's good. That's beautiful point, man. That's heavy, man, because Israel 2/3, they constantly want that damn nigga, man, that murderer, and what the scripture says, Israel horn. Let me get that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because 2/3 they love wickedness, man. They like we read earlier, they cover with that covering, but not of the spirit of Yahawashi, that they may add sin to sin. So they love being a nigga, basically. I'm gonna start at verse 13. Jeremiah 2 and 13. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewn out them cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. So basically, they went with the philosophies of these other nations, especially Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. That can hold no water is not going to lead to any life. It says, "Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he so spoiled?" Well, basically, he's so spoiled because he want to go after the way of the heathen, man. He's comfortable being a slave, like that nigga Charleston White. I'm a nigga. I'm a nigga from birth. And that's the mindset of 2/3, man. They just gone,
Yeah, our people have lost the taste of power. They don't even, that's foreign to them. Even if you speak of power, they don't want to hear about that. They'll rather receive a check. A nigga get excited more than anything when he see that direct deposit Thursday night. He rather feel more comfortable with that than hearing about scepters and calling shots and pulling. Because our people have been beaten down and trying down so bad to the point where they just content with it.
That's right. They and like you said, they're content with it. They can't see past America. They don't have vision to see afar off. Like you had mentioned, waiting on that deposit to hit so they can trick out for the weekend.
That's it.
Just to get that little bit of relief, from the cares of this world. But little do they know, if they were to trust in Yahawashi, those ways are going to lead to life. I got something real quick.
God.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 81 and verse 10. I am the Lord thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. So the Lord is basically telling us to receive this truth, man. Get fed with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It says, but my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. See, we rejected Yahawashi, all right? And 2/3 can't find their way back to him because they've been blinded. It says, so I gave them unto their own hearts lust, see? And they walked in their own counsels. So the Lord basically gave you up to your own lust, man. That's why you can't come into that enclosed garden, You can't hearken to the ways of Yahawashi. It says, oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. See, that path that leads to life.
That's it.
That was it on that. You got anything?
Hey, yeah, man. Since you said that, since you brought it out, I'll get that on that Proverbs 1.
Okay.
And I think it's like you could probably start like at 27, 28, something like that. Because like I said, the Lord have given up to their own delusion, their own lust. And let me see. You started like 27. Started like 27.
Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 27. It says, when your fear cometh as a desolation, when your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you.
Yeah, and the key word that stick out is when. So these things are inevitable, man. This desolation, this turmoil, anguish that's about to take place upon the planet is only going to increase, man. But it's a reason why. It's not like it's just something random. The Lord have thrown out their lifeline, man, and our people have rejected it. They have, went to death and hell for relief, but not knowing that death and hell is that's what you're going to get. You got it out.
It says, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
See, and that's when reality set in. That's when prophecy is gonna be up close and personal. Now you want to know about the scripture. Now you want to know about Yahawashi. You seeking what's that in Amos, the 8th chapter concerning the famine of the word.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas somehow now all of a sudden they got their research skill up to par. They looking up the names and all these things, but it's gonna be too late, man. Because you have you went to the so-called white man as that place of refuge. You went to this man for your relief. You know, when the Lord brought forth his word, he poured forth his word, made his word known, come with this peace offering. You rejected it. So what else could the Lord do but to kill you, man? You know, you got it out.
I got a quick precept.
God, you got
quick. This is Isaiah chapter 28.
That's it.
And verse 18. It says, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. So who is known as death and hell? Esau, Edom. What is that? Habakkuk 2. No, the Lord is just telling you right now, your covenant, your agreement, your dwelling place is not going to stand.
That's it.
It says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. So you join to this man, you're going to receive the same fate that he has prepared for him. Was that Isaiah 13?
That's it.
You know? But that was it on that.
Oh, no, actually, keep going on that.
Okay, Slacky. It says, from the time that it goeth forth, it shall take you. For morning by morning, it shall pass over, by day and by night.
So it's no letting up. It's not going to be no timeouts concerning Jacob's trouble. You get a 30-second breathe. It's nothing like that, man. It's going to be overflowing. It's going to be a constant thing. Constant hell. That's why it says in Amos, the 5th chapter, you're going to flee from a lion and you're going to run to a bear. You thought you had it was going to be a false sense of relief when you lean your hand on the wall, then a serpent bites you, man. So the Lord is not going to let up, man. For morning by morning shall it pass over, by day and by night. So ain't no letting up, man. You got it out.
And it says, and it shall be a vexation only to understand the report.
Yeah, because you're going to be in it. You got to play the part of the famine. You got to play the part of the teeth of the beast and the sword. Somebody got to actually play that part, man. You know, keep going out.
It says, for the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it.
See, so meaning no comfortability, man.
That's it.
It's nothing you could do to, like, you know, these people have made America their bed. They have made the so-called white man their refuge, their rest, you know, their safe haven. But that reality gonna set in when the bed is too short for you to lay on it, for you to actually stretch out on it. You're gonna actually be, you're gonna be put in a box. That's why I said sorrow is gonna be on every side. You know, it's not gonna be no form of relief in sight, man. Why? Because going back to that verse 18, you made health and death. I mean, it's like hell and death. So like hell and death, your refuge. So that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get hell. You're gonna be brought to a lower state, to what a point you might be catching rodents and shit to eat. You're gonna be reduced to eating your little ones. You know, but the result is what? Death. You're gonna die too, though. At the end of the day, you know, you got it up.
It says, and the covering narrow than that he can wrap himself in it.
So no protection, man. No protection. You have subscribed to, because it ain't got to be just reserved to you subscribe to a certain book to make it a covering. You know, these different wayward ideologies, these different thought patterns, all the way down to your decision making and your diet. All that shit is gonna become to no avail, man. Because you made death and hell your refuge. So that's what you're gonna get, man. And when prophecy take place, when it's up close and personal, you're gonna realize that you was on the wrong team, man.
Ooh, good. That cover.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You had the wrong uniform. The agent came and tackled you. You didn't have that mark of exemption, man.
That's it.
You know.
I'm gonna go back to Proverbs.
God.
Proverbs 1:28. It says, "Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer.
Yep.
They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me."
See, hey, and what's that? I think that's in Zechariah. You ain't got to get it, but it said they're gonna call upon. As I cried, and they didn't hear.
God.
So I cried. So they cried, and I would not hear them. So it's gonna get to the point where you got the prophets out crying out, or it said to their fellows.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna get to the point when the prophets shut down, because it says we're gonna be quiet because it's an evil time.
That's it.
When this is gonna be too late then. It's gonna be too late then. You have already set on a course of destruction, man. Mm-hmm. You know, the Lord had his men out there to tell you that this is the good way. This is the way you should follow. But you brushed it off. It tells you pulled away the shoulder. Mm-hmm. So the result is what? What else conclusion could you come to but you gonna die, man? That's the same Noah message Noah told the people. What else could you say? Because the only way out was through the ark, man. It wasn't no other way you could tell somebody another way out of this situation. It was only whether you're gonna be in the ark and survive or you gonna die and drown, man. You know?
That's it.
But the prophecy, it was reality set in when the raindrops came and by day 3 it never let up. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like you gotta go out.
Like you said earlier in that Amos 5, no relief, man.
That's it.
You know, you think you'll have an escape plan, but the only escape plan is to believe in the report, you know.
Uh-huh.
Or like you said earlier, are you going to be in the report? You know, we're reading about you now. Proverbs 1:29, it says, "For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord."
See, hey, that would cement their destruction, man. Having the lack of knowledge. It said our people perish for the lack of knowledge. So this shows you understanding is very volatile concerning life and death, man. To know. Oh, that's why the scripture said, "Then shall they know that I'm the Lord." They're gonna know when they die.
That's it.
That's
it. If I may,
yeah, you got it, bro.
When they trying to talk down a damn bell, you know, they hadn't ate in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's it.
Then you're gonna know that was Yahawashi. It says, "They were none of my counsel; they despised all my reproof."
See, and what was the penalty when you read Proverbs 13:13? He that despises the word shall be destroyed. That's a commandment. That wasn't no suggestion. That's a commandment. That's why I said shall be destroyed. So that's mandatory. So, and that shows you this message is concerning life and death. What else could it come down to? It's not like we just gathering all the black people together. We finna get the black dollar off the ground. None of that shit, man.
Right.
You know, we're not pitching the message to continue here in this place, America. Like I said, we see passes. We looking at the world to come. And if you ain't on board with that, you just gonna have to die with this world.
That's it.
You got it out.
It's like you got Jake, voting and shit, still voting.
Yeah, man, that's
sick, man.
Yeah,
these people shows you in your face that they don't give a fuck about you, and the Lord has presented you a way out of here, the way you can be able to be safe in a time that's approaching, and you, like you say, you pulled away the shoulder, you shrugged it off. You didn't care, and ultimately that's what's going to lead to your death.
That's it.
Subscribing to this man's ways. Proverbs 1:31, it says, Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way.
See? They said they was giving into their own lust. So this nigga he gonna really kill himself. The Lord set up with it. They really kill themselves. Like I said, from a nigga arguing on Facebook.
Yeah.
And he said the right words to this nigga to make him grab his scrap to go get him.
Yep.
They're gonna be filled. They're gonna eat the fruit of their own way, which is death. That's the only thing these people have been producing, man. Especially 2/3 of our people. Like I say, you got black nigga culture, black culture, drill music, and all these different things, which ultimately these are the patterns of the so-called white man, and that's what they're going to receive. This man Esau, he's known as the son of perdition, which is destruction, and he lived a destructive life. From his history is riddled with the sword and war. From even to this man actually, his lifestyle is destructive. From his diet, you eating crab and shit.
Yeah.
You disrupting the ordinance of how the oceans and shit play out, to the different morale, the low morale lifestyle this man lived by the way of the LGBTQ. But what's all that? The end result is death, man. And that's what these people are going to receive. At the end of the day, they're going to receive death, because ultimately, Lord said he's going to give them to their lust. When you go into the deliverance of Egypt, we was in the wilderness, our people wanted to go back to Egypt, man.
Yeah.
They wanted to, they actually was going to make leaders and captains to go back to Egypt. Well, the Lord is, in this time, he's giving them their request. You got niggas right now, these self-proclaimed, these so-called leaders, you got from rappers and athletes to entertainers, that's keeping Jake in America. And ultimately, it's going to play out its perfection when the destruction comes. You're going to stay here. You're going to actually still be here when the destruction comes. You love this place so motherfucking much. You're going to actually be in America, man, when that destruction comes, man.
That's it. Like the elder brother Cornwall say, a permanent American.
Permanent American, that's it. That's it.
It says, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them.
Ooh, see? That shows how vital this word is. You taking it lightly, perceiving it as something that's insignificant, it's gonna lead to you being slayed, man. You got it.
It says, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them.
You got it? Yeah.
Who is known as the fool? Esau Edom. And you subscribing to his ways, trying to be prosperous, in the things that he do, that's going to ultimately destroy you, man.
That's it.
It says, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil.
See? Oh, you got it, bro. Slide.
It says hearken. I mean, actually listening and believing the report. And it says dwell, dwell safely, meaning your abode is going to be protected by Yahawashi.
That's it.
And it says, shall be quiet from fear of evil. So in those times, those evil times, those bad times that we're approaching, the Lord said you want to be straight, man. You got anything?
Yeah, we can probably we can go to that Proverbs 7. Yeah, we can go to that Proverbs 7, and
that's spirit.
That's it. You could probably start like at I think like 24 or something like that.
This is Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 24. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to my words, and attend to the words of my mouth.
And this is the commandment. We supposed to hearken unto Solomon, which we know that's Yahawashi. Because ultimately doing that will lead to mercy and peace, man. That good doctrine talks about holding fast to wisdom. But for she is thy life, man. This instruction. This not just to give the sound, like a professor give you an old English feel. No, this is concerning life and death, man. And these words are the words of life, man. Why I say attend to the word. So ain't nothing you. That's just like when you playing chess and you testing and you didn't see the move that your opponent made, man. It's nothing to take light. You know, this is something that we should hold fast to because ultimately it's going to lead to life. You got it up.
It says, "Let not thine heart decline to her ways."
See? Let not thine heart decline to her ways. Was that in Isaiah the 30th chapter? Those that go down into Egypt.
That's it.
Because you really taking a step back by following the so-called white man. He's known as the basis of man. He's the base man. So from him being in a caveman state, even to his thought process, it's all base, it's all low level, man. So you putting on that uniform, you really take it, you really downgrading. You are declining to her ways. You got it.
If I may. It says, "Let not thine heart," and that word "heart" goes into the Hebrew word "la," which means your mind. You know, as you started out, you know, is that way of thinking. You know, their reasoning. It says, "Go not astray in her paths."
Yep, that's them cricket ways, man. That cricket serpent. When you read Isaiah the 27th chapter, the so-called white man, those cricket perverse paths, because he's the embodiment of perverseness. So you following those, you're gonna receive the same thing. You got it.
It says, "For she have cast down many wounded. Yeah, many strong men have been slain by her."
And that's the different advances of this place. You know, the different aspects of it, of America to those different enchantments. You know, Jake have succumbed to this man. You know, this place in different aspects. You know, you look at the limelight, the fame, and you have the women, the different philosophies, and they have all succumbed to it, and ultimately, what is gonna lead to being slain by her. Cause a nigga could be good as dead by what he believe already. You know, especially you see a nigga with dreads and he say the black woman guy, you know that nigga good as dead. You know he dead, man. You got it out.
It says, "Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death."
See, you in a chamber, that's like a prison. Like you bound by it now. You bound by death when you go to America. Oh, matter of fact, what's that on you? What's that Proverbs?
Oh yeah, cause
it tells you once you fall into the clutches of America, you know that's your ass, man. It had to be a miracle for us to be plucked up from this place through the mercy and grace of Yahawashi, man. You succumb to America, man. It's gonna have to be a miracle from the Lord to pluck us up from this place. Matter of fact, jump up on that. Start at that's start at 10. Matter of fact, just start at 10.
This is Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 10. "When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee."
So as you can see, wisdom is a key thing because it leads to being preserved and kept, man. But from who? From what? You got it.
It says, "To deliver thee from the way of the evil man."
See, from the way of the evil man, from the so-called white man and his different advances, the different ideologies and philosophies, to the point where this man actually going to get physical. Wisdom is going to keep us and preserve us from these things. You got it.
It says, "From the man that speaketh forward things."
See, you got it.
"Who leave the paths of that who leave the path of uprightness, to walk in the ways of darkness.
See, and that's what our people have followed this man and went into the ways of darkness. It tells you that in the book of Isaiah, the 59th chapter. They wait for light, but behold obscurity. Because they have followed this devil, man, because he's the standard in this time, because this is his rulership. This is his time to rule, so he's the standard. And our people is following that, not knowing that it's destruction, man. You got it?
It says, who rejoice to do evil.
Hey, and that's what our people do as well. Yeah. You know, as the elder brother Aaron mentioned, that our people, 2/3 of our people pretty much celebrate the worst characteristics of man. You know, a nigga will be he'll be known as one of the best rappers if he come with a song concerning adultery. He got a bad line concerning adultery, and now this nigga is one of the coldest rappers out there. You got it out.
No, just to add, he celebrated.
You
know,
that's it.
And that's the same thing.
Yeah, you got out. It's like,
you got out.
Yeah, and that's with the so-called white man. He celebrates evil. You go into Christopher Columbus and you know these different men of renown in the Edomite realm. They're known for evil and wickedness, you know, but they'll spruce it up and and make it seem like he was a man of piety. You know, but it has trickled down to our people who dwell therein, and they showing you that it's the same thing with the so-called white man celebrate. He rejoices in evil from adultery to murder. You know, all forms of wickedness. Being a faggot, you got these different faggot rappers.
Yeah.
You know, but wisdom is going to keep us from all that, because these things that this man is doing, the so-called white man is doing, it's death, man. It's all death, man. Whether it take a year to kill you, from a week, a month, it ultimately the result is you die. You got it out.
It says, and delight in the forwardness of the wicked.
See, they delight in the crookedness, the wickedness. You got it.
Whose ways are crooked, and they forward in their paths, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth with her words.
So yeah, that strange woman, America, and the flattering words is the different ideologies and philosophies that's going to ultimately it contributes to the flesh. When you read you go into Genesis 3rd chapter concerning the serpent's doctrine. The thing where he pitched to Eve, it was pleasing to the eyes. You know, it was concerning the flesh as a form of power, but it was it contributed to the flesh, man.
If I may,
yeah, you got it.
Those flattering words, surely thou shalt not die.
That's it. Let's show you that it you know, these people, they live without it's not a healthy fear of Yahawashi on planet Earth, man. You know, these motherfuckers do things without no repercussions at all. You know, that's why the scripture even tell you that a full servant's heart, there's no power. And it plays out by the way of this man signed these different laws and legislations, as well as these different acts. You know, motherfucker, at least at a point in time, they understood being a homo was a disgraceful thing. And that's why they had the term called down low. But now it's to the point where motherfucker, them the only motherfucker that get the best jobs, and you gotta be a faggot to prosper in this motherfucker now. You know?
Like it. Yeah, I went into that lesson earlier, man, with the fucking the first lesbian mayor and shit.
Yeah, man.
No, this place is it's gotta go, man.
And they show you too as well. You mentioned that they had Trudeau, the first. It's a world leader, but you catch this nigga at a drag show.
Oh my god!
So that show you who's in power, man. You got these are niggas that's in power, man. But as it has trickled down to the people as well. That thought process, as we read in what is Ecclesiastes the 10th chapter, 10, as the manner of ruler, it has triggered out to these people. But ultimately the result is what? They gonna die, man. Because what else conclusion could you come to? You living that life, you eating that way. You know, you thinking this way, you making these different rash decisions. What other conclusion can you come to but death, man? But it starts by the way of the thought. That's why I said the words that flattereth, that what woo you, that what draws you in. You know, these different thought processes, and now you don't fear the Lord. You don't expect the repercussion behind your actions. What else the Lord gonna do, man, but kill you, man? You got it out.
It says, which forsaketh the God of her youth and forgetteth the covenant of her power.
See? Hey, and it tells this man have cast his words behind him. Because this man know that the scriptures are alive and well. You know, we serve the true power of heavens and earth. You know that this man got different relics and artifacts to prove the validity of the scriptures. And this man just said, you know what? I'm gonna do it my way. Man, that's a sick motherfucker, man. And it's evidence. He got different. You know, this nigga got the evidence in the heavens. You know, he probably seen Michael the archangel, seen the chariots. Yeah. Like I said, the different artifacts, the different relics. And this nigga, he just totally dismissed it. He casted it behind him, man. You got it out.
That's a true nigga, man. It says, for her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead.
Get that word incline out. Let's see what that say. Baba Kasha.
That word inclineth, Strong's H 7743. It says to sink down. That's that sinking place, man. It says to be bowed down, be humble. It says to seek down, of depression of the mind.
That's heavy right there, man.
You know, they don't see a way out. You know, so they got to subscribe to the way of Esau, and ultimately it leads to that depression of the mind. You waking up every morning, I gotta go to work. Yeah, that's something you done subscribe to. You know, that's why all these people don't need all these goddamn pills and shit.
Yeah, that's the norm, like drugs and shit. Like that's the norm now because of depression of the mind being here in this place in America because you know, a nigga is so fixated upon chasing the bag. It's a certain standard that a nigga want to meet, and that would lead to the depression as well, man. You know, and it's really you really being more on a lower and lower. You really lowering yourself, trying to be great in this place, man. This is like you said, this is a sick place though, man. Nigga go rob and steal and kill just so he can have a pic on Instagram to show how well he doing, man.
Got Jake bragging about taking somebody's chain.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna go back. Jake, man. And that's why, you know, as the apostles say, man, we gonna be jumping, Lord willing, we get that spiritual part, we gonna be jumping over Esau, getting at you damn Jakes, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is Proverbs 2:18 again. It says, for her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead.
See, that show you that's where it leads to. That broad way. It's so many ways that this man have presented these different outlets, but ultimately the result, you know, it's going all the same destination is death, man. It said her paths unto the dead. So that's, and these people are when they open their mouth you could tell they good as dead just from that reasoning, man.
Mm.
If you show that they don't have no ounce of life in them, spiritually, by what they say. Because you can even have a conversation with a nigga if you able to stomach it. Just for an example, concerning food and shit, nigga be like, man, I love pork chops. You
Oh,
just like, yeah, this
man.
nigga, man. You could tell you can't reason with nobody like that. He's so fixated upon pork chops. He going into a whole, bubble gum going to the different forms. He can cook shrimp. That's how a nigga do, man. And so you can't reason with no nigga like that. He just dead. Just let him go. He that's filthy. Let him be filthy still, man.
That's the spirit that you said that I had a guy at the plantation talking about fucking pork chops today. And I'm just sitting there looking like, nigga, you already dead.
That's it.
My grandmama, my auntie, she smothered, man. I'm like, God damn.
Oh shit. That's it.
Proverbs 2:19, it says, none that goeth unto her return again, neither take they hold of the paths of life.
See, so that's going by that chamber of death. You going to her, you not gonna escape. It gotta be the grace of Yahawashi, man, that we have escaped from this place, man. Spiritually. And Lord, will we part of that number? We physically had it to manifest as well. But as you can see, those that go on to her, you have been trapped. And it said, neither take they hold of the paths of life, because once you have been in her clutches, you're not considering the paths. You're not considering Yahawashi, the way of life, because it said the God of this world have blinded them.
Yep.
They should not see the light of the glorious gospel of Yahawashi. So they because they ain't gonna consider this. And like I said, you mentioned earlier, nigga voting.
Yeah.
You don't see a nigga taking the paths of life, taking hold to the path of life. He'll write a vote and hope them 4 years or whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, so, but it
take,
said they're not gonna return again. That's like that prison. They shut up in death. They have been appointed to death, that decree of death. But you got it a lot.
I'm gonna go back to Proverbs 7.
God.
This is Proverbs 7:27. It says, her house is the way to hell.
See?
Going
So you making your bed here, you making this your rest. It's going to lead to hell. You being brought down to a lower state. Especially the one that's have been acclimated in this place, man. When the power go out, when all hell break loose, you're not gonna know what to do, because you were so invested in this place, man. And that's what's gonna contribute to the perplexity. They had so much invested in America and wasn't expecting this scene in the movie. And they're gonna be reduced to eating, cannibalism and shit, and doing all these different crazy acts just to survive, man. You got it out.
It says going down to the chambers of death.
And yeah, once you in a chamber, you locked in. You are sealed now. It proved that you're going to be appointed. You was appointed to death, man. But it starts by the way of following the ways, the thought process, the mind of an American that covering, and ultimately is going to lead to your destination of death.
That's it.
And it said that chamber, so that means you locked in. Matter of fact, get that word chamber. Let's see what that says. Because is an extra thing called a death chamber. You actually got execution chambers where you got concerning different executions in this time period, this realm. You got a room and shit with just an electric chair. But that was your fate. That's what that's your destiny. You got it out.
It says chamber, room, parlor, if I may, going back to that room, you locked in to the house of Esau. You know, it says parlor, innermost or inward part. You basically in a maze, man. You can't even see your way out of it. It says within.
You all the way in there.
Ooh.
And this house is about to have a great fall, man. You in the middle of the house when the roof collapsed. Ain't no way out of that. Like you said, and it's a maze too. Like
is it
that's it. But that chamber, meaning you not getting out of that. If you come to the ways of America, man, that's your ass, man. To the point where it's gonna physically manifest to where, Lord, will we part that number where we're being raised up. And the ones that are left is gonna be that gravity that's gonna, them chains is gonna actually keep them down here, for that destruction, man.
That's heavy.
God, but you got anything else?
No, that was pretty much it there.
God, hey, yeah, man. Hey, Lord willing, man, we hope that we're edifying. We like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawashi, by Sham, Yahawashi, by Shem Rawchaa Qadash. We like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Like to say shalom to the elect that teach the word in our true faith and sincerity. Shalom to the listeners as well.
Shalom.
DTA. Abide with y'all soon.
It can.
Very soon.
Tonight.